There are inflammations you assume come from aging, but the truth lies deep within the colon and the toxins that have silently accumulated for years. Once you understand this mechanism, your healing journey can change completely. I am Ethan Marshall, a 60-year-old physician from the United States, and after more than 3 decades of practice, I have witnessed a truth many people refuse to accept. Most chronic inflammation we suffer from is not caused by age, genetics, or destiny, but because the body has been quietly fighting for far too long against what we put into it every day. The frightening part is that most people have no idea that this is happening inside them. If you want to better understand your body and how to heal naturally, please subscribe to the channel, like, and share this video so I can continue providing meaningful and valuable content. When I talk about the power of nature to reduce inflammation, many older patients smile at me as if I were telling a fairy tale. But in reality, in hundreds of cases I have handled, the greatest improvements have always come from the simplest measures. Nature is not complicated. It is humans who make things difficult. Herbs, fresh foods, juices from plants. These are gifts from nature reminding us of the body's remarkable ability to repair itself. What Arnold Ehret, Norman Walker, and Bernard Jensen claimed a century ago still holds true today. When the body is relieved of its burden, when the colon is cleansed, when the blood is no longer clouded by waste, inflammation naturally subsides, not by miracle, but because the body is finally allowed to do what it was designed to do: heal. I remember a 72-year-old man who once told me he no longer believed in natural healing methods because he had tried everything and nothing changed. Yet after just 6 weeks of gentle dietary adjustments, increased green juice intake, and giving his digestive system real rest, he returned to my clinic with an expression I'll never forget. He said, "Doctor, my body never abandoned me. I was the one who abandoned it for too long." That is the very message I want to convey. We always have a chance to start again. Herbs are not miracles, but companions that will never leave us, so long as we give the body a clean, light, and open foundation to receive their support. So before you think of strong medications or complex interventions, try asking yourself one simple question. Has your body truly been allowed to rest and be cared for properly? Nature never shuts its doors to us. Sometimes we just need to relearn how to listen. Tell me, in your opinion, what is the most important factor in helping the body reduce inflammation naturally? A. Using a lot of strong herbs. B. Building a foundation with a clean colon and proper diet. Choose A or B and leave your answer in the comments so I know where you are on your healing journey. Ginger, turmeric, alfalfa, and celery have long been regarded as notable representatives of natural steady inflammation relief. Each herb carries its own supportive mechanism, yet they all operate through plant compounds that have existed in nature for thousands of years without the forcefulness or intervention of synthetic medications. Ginger and turmeric are widely known for anti-inflammatory properties that act directly on processes that irritate bodily tissues. Compounds like gingerol and curcumin help slow excessive oxidative reactions, thereby naturally easing pain, tension, and swelling. When used warm, such as in tea or infused water, they support circulation, helping the body move waste out of irritated tissues more effectively. Meanwhile, alfalfa plays a nourishing role in restoring the body's internal environment. Rich in natural minerals, especially alkaline substances, alfalfa helps rebalance acidity, a fundamental condition that often drives persistent inflammation. When the internal environment becomes less acidic, the body reduces stress on its buffering systems, helping diminish metabolic tension that fuels chronic inflammation. This explains why alfalfa is often used as a foundational support, helping stabilize the body before deeper adjustments. Celery juice, on the other hand, functions both as a cleanser and regulator. Containing compounds that assist in eliminating uric acid, Celery is particularly useful for inflammation related to urate crystals, a common cause of joint pain and soft tissue disorders. In fresh juice form, nutrients enter the bloodstream more rapidly, helping the body process metabolic loads efficiently and reducing stagnation in tissues. Overall, these three herbs work not as quick fixes, but as subtle forces guiding the body back to equilibrium. They reinforce weak points that inflammation frequently exploits: instability in pH balance, metabolic waste buildup, and a sluggish detox network. When used properly and consistently, they provide valuable support in reducing inflammation without burdening the liver, kidneys, or digestive tract. More than simple tools, these herbs are part of a deeper natural strategy that allows the body to function more harmoniously and sustainably throughout recovery. The colon has long been viewed as a simple anatomical structure responsible merely for holding and expelling waste. But clinical observations and classical writings on natural health suggest that its influence extends far beyond such a narrow definition. When the colon loses effective mobility, waste not only accumulates but begins to ferment and decompose silently. Byproducts of these processes readily seep back into circulation, increasing the workload of the liver, kidneys, and peripheral tissues. This is the phenomenon of autointoxication, a quiet foundation underlying many chronic inflammatory disorders. In such conditions, the immune system is continuously stimulated by foreign molecules and metabolic toxins, leading to widespread inflammation not only within the gut, but across distant organs. Notably, studies on neural reflex pathways show that the colon has intricate neurological connections with various regions of the body. Tension, stagnation, or inflammation within the colon can trigger abnormal responses in neurologically connected organs, resulting in inflammation or dysfunction in places that seem unrelated. This explains why disorders such as joint pain, skin inflammation, fatigue, respiratory irregularities, or decreased vitality often improve significantly when the digestive tract is cleansed and motility restored. These organs are not being treated directly. Rather, the neural metabolic trigger causing irritation has been removed. Furthermore, the nature of the colonic mucosa makes it a dynamic barrier between the outside environment and the internal body. When this mucosal layer becomes coated in excess mucus or accumulated waste, its protective and absorptive functions weaken. A compromised gut barrier allows large molecules, bacteria, or toxins to enter the bloodstream, leading to systemic inflammation that persists over time. Modern disorders like leaky gut syndrome reflect this mechanism clearly. Long-term waste buildup can also alter the colon's physical structure, reducing elasticity, creating diverticula or sagging segments, further worsening obstruction and motility. As this cycle continues, the body remains in a prolonged defensive state, draining internal reserves and creating a fertile environment for chronic inflammation. From a systemic perspective, the colon is not merely a waste container, but a central determinant of blood quality, tissue cleanliness, and immune stability. Maintaining a clear, well-functioning colon is thus essential not only for digestion, but for the body's natural ability to resist inflammation and sustain overall health. Fasting and the mucusless diet are regarded as foundational interventions that allow the body to restart self-regulating and regenerative processes that everyday biological activity cannot fully accomplish. When food intake is temporarily halted, the digestive system reduces its workload and shifts into a restorative state. During this time, internal mechanisms that are usually overshadowed by constant digestion reawaken, most notably the breakdown and removal of old damaged cells or denatured proteins. This reduces the inflammatory burden from within because tissues are no longer forced to accommodate accumulated metabolic waste. In parallel, fasting helps stabilize blood sugar levels, reduces hormone fluctuations that promote irritation, improves insulin sensitivity, and lowers oxidative stress, thereby strengthening the body's regulatory immune functions. Together, these factors create an internal environment less prone to inflammation, allowing the body to reestablish balance naturally and sustainably. The mucusless diet continues and amplifies these benefits. By emphasizing fresh fruits, leafy greens, and water-rich foods, the body receives light, easily absorbed nutrients that produce minimal metabolic residue. These foods reduce the formation of excess mucus in the gut, which is considered a root contributor to many metabolic and inflammatory disturbances. As mucus decreases, the colon becomes clearer, enabling the mucosa to repair and motility to function smoothly. This also promotes natural detoxification, helping the body release long-stored waste. The mucusless diet enhances the body's alkaline state, creating an environment where oxidative, inflammation-driving reactions struggle to thrive. Crucially, it prevents toxin reaccumulation after fasting. With digestion relieved, enzyme-rich fluids from fruits and vegetables permeate intracellular spaces, providing clean energy for tissue regeneration. Within this framework, herbs serve as supportive agents that enhance the effects of fasting and the mucusless diet. When the gut is light and clean, herbal compounds are absorbed more effectively and can act without being hindered by metabolic residues or mucus. Herbs do not function independently, but integrate into the body's overall healing strategy, reinforcing the foundation established by fasting and natural eating. This synergy forms a stable system that enables the body to sustain self-healing in a consistent, efficient manner. In natural health practice, herbs are not considered standalone solutions, but integral components of a broader regulatory system in which each element, from colon cleansing and structured fasting to plant-centered nutrition, works together to create an internal environment conducive to self-healing. Once the body reaches a stable state, herbs become subtle catalysts, reinforcing and maintaining the positive shifts achieved through foundational methods. Their role lies not in forceful intervention, but in sustained support, gradually deepening biological recovery. This perspective aligns with the understanding that most chronic inflammatory conditions do not emerge quickly, but accumulate over years due to diet, environment, and lifestyle. Thus, sustainable improvement requires ongoing engagement rather than expecting a single method to reverse years of imbalance. Herbs contribute by providing plant compounds that stabilize internal chemistry, soothe inflammatory processes, and strengthen tissues without burdening detox organs like the liver or kidneys. Integrated into a light, supportive diet and a well-functioning gut, herbs help the body maintain equilibrium over the long term. Furthermore, many natural healing traditions emphasize that true health is not merely the absence of disease, but the harmonious functioning of organs and energy systems. Within this perspective, herbs symbolize the connection between human beings and the natural world, helping restore the rhythmic balance the body is inherently designed to follow. Because they operate gently, herbs participate in what might be called the language of life, signaling in ways the body can understand and respond to without resistance. This harmony becomes the foundation for lasting health, allowing the body to adjust gradually rather than through abrupt shifts. Thus, herbs should be used within a holistic context where every measure is evaluated for its contribution toward overall balance. When applied with this awareness, herbs become true companions, helping the body preserve stability and inner strength. In this framework, health is not merely a final goal, but a natural result of a harmonious way of living in which the body and nature remain intertwined in continuous resonance. The journey through these 5 parts reveals that health is not the outcome of a single measure, but the interplay of multiple forces. The gentle support of herbs, the colon's essential role in detoxification, the regenerative power of fasting and mucusless eating, and the body's innate ability to self-regulate when placed in proper conditions. Nature does not heal with force, but with persistence, reminding us that recovery is not a moment, but a sequence of consistent, mindful steps. When these elements align within a harmonious system, the body can reduce inflammation, strengthen internal resilience, and operate more naturally and steadily. One key insight is that sustainable health begins by giving the body the environment it needs to function as it was designed. Applying this does not require complexity. Start with small adjustments such as incorporating a daily green juice, minimizing foods that create metabolic residue, offering the digestive system restorative pauses, and using herbs as supportive allies rather than replacements. These simple, consistent practices can create significant change over time. In your view, which factor has the greatest impact on the body's self-healing ability? Cleansing the colon or maintaining a gentle diet? If you would like additional in-depth materials, you can fill out the form in the description to receive a Healing Health ebook. Also, remember to subscribe, like, and share this video to help spread valuable content and support us in creating more resources for the community.